Hello and welcome to What's Map for Cities Skylines, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. There are thousands of items on the workshop now, so finding the right one for your next city build is a huge task. So each day, Monday to Saturday, we'll review some using our 5-star rating and the coveted seal of approval. So join me, fellow Skylines explorers, as we venture out to today's new land. Who am I? I'm BonBonB, and you are very, very welcome.
Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to What's Map, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. BonBon here, how you doing? As it's the 499th show, drown trees, I thought I'd indulge with a couple of tribute maps, and why not? These have been put up on the workshop in my honour, bless you creators. This one's by Asgari, and it says thanks, and it's got a thumbs up as well. And you're very, very welcome, Asgari. This one's by Haranth, and it's got a couple of sets of boobies here. Maybe it's the two Ronnies, I'm not quite sure. Two Ronnies being a British comedy act of the 70s and 80s. We've got a henge bullseye thing going on there, that's quite fun as well. And we've got some saucepan lakes. Why not saucepan lakes? Here they are, there's one, and the other one's just over the way. So I'd like to say thank you, Asgari and Haranth. I couldn't get to the 500th episode without a little bit of self-indulgence, and we'll get those out of the way. Brilliant. Now before we crack on with today's show, it's going to be slightly different. Today's creator we did over a year ago, and they had a specific request last time and a specific request this time, and that is that I listen to your votes before giving my own, those being for aesthetics, for detail and for gameplay potential. So when we get to the end of today's show, I'm going to ask you to pause the video and I'm going to ask you to give your ratings for aesthetics, for detail and for gameplay potential for this map before you see my rating, so I don't cloud your judgment. On top of that, you are going to get your regular vote as well up in the top right hand corner by clicking that little button and choosing between 1 and 5 stars for the map as an overall score. So you get to vote twice. Everybody's a winner. On top of that, the creator has got a little surprise for us all right at the end of the show. And once you've guessed what the surprise is, and some of you will get it very, very quickly and others will have to wait until be told, please don't put it into the comments because you'll be spoiling it for everybody else. Once you know what the surprise is, you'll understand why it's a big secret. So be part of the part of the surprise and be part of the secret. Be part of the club, you lovely, lovely people. Right, okay, so let's have a little get rid of this one and let's have a quick look at the top-down view of today's map. And then as we have a look at this, I've got to get round to reminding you that we have a daily routine, and that daily routine, especially on an extra long show like today, is to show your appreciation to me by giving me a quick thumbs up on the like button. And that's right, hitting the like button really does help support the channel, grows me a little bit bigger every day and gets me seen by more people. Thank you very much for everything you do to support the channel. Right, okay, today's map is St. Catherine's Point by Sue the NIM. The NIM, last year I didn't know what it meant and I still have no clue what it means this year, but it's Sue, bless her. There's your start square right there. We have water and highways as well. And then if we have a look at the resources, they are ugly but bold and definitely set up now for the Industries DLC. Let's go over to the workshop. Now there's quite a few bits on the workshop to subscribe to. It is quite a detailed map, quite a few little bits and pieces, and a long description as well with all the settings you're going to need. But I'm going to let you have a quick, you can use the pause button yourself, have a look at all of these bits and bobs, one-click collections. There is also a light version as well that you can do, which is just a theme, a LUT and some trees. If you wish to go that way, you don't have a super powerful computer, and it still looks okay. It looks okay in the standard version. Okay, let's have a look at St. Catherine's Point, shall we? We come down towards our first intersection, and the first intersection is it goes up 3 lanes, and then up and over. It's a low height, and it looks custom built to me. I don't recognise this one from the workshop. We come down here to make sure it's high enough. It looks high enough for the rail there. And come around here, we've got any street lights clipping. Looks good to me. Okay. The slopes are very nice and gentle, come down to ground very softly there. And down here we have got a dead end with a dock right on the edge of the fog, and also a rail depot right on the edge of the fog as well. Right, let's head up. I've got the quarry off on the left hand side there. We'll have a look at that after the asset review break, and we follow the highway up the side of the coast here. Now we've got another intersection coming up here as well. This one's an interesting one, and we will come back and have a look at this later as well. It kind of doesn't go anywhere. Well, it actually does, and I'm going to save that one. That's not the surprise I'm going to keep you guys waiting for, although it will be something that you see at the end of the show. Now, this particular map, I didn't get a chance to say it on the Steam Workshop page, but it is designed to be used with the Tides mod. So if you've been waiting for a Tides mod map, this could just be the one for you. Now we come up here, we've got a little bit of glitching in with the bridge, and it's weird. It's the only part of the map that this is happening. I don't know why that's happening. It happens occasionally on some maps, but if you get to the right distance, it clips back in. So if you're looking for screenshots, you should be able to get a decent screenshot. Look at the texture of the sand. Look at the texture of the grass. Oh, lovely. And then we'll nip across here. And there's also this part of the mainland over here. At certain distances, we get a little bit of glitching in of some blocks of trees as well. But once again, only at certain angles and from certain distances. It's very strange. Happens in occasional maps, quite often the detailed maps. This intersection looks like an Augustin Navy intersection to me, and it's a good selection. It works really well with the map, and we've got good heights again on the passovers there. We come down here, just make sure this is good over here. It just dips down and under, nicely tapered under there. That's all good. We've got, was it 6 lanes crossing across the top that goes off to the fog that way. And then if we go around this corner, this goes off to the fog over there. The only thing we're missing on the left is a bit of forestry. And the merging of the lanes is pretty smart as well. All the arrows are pointing in the way that I quite like them to. And then we'll head off towards the main island, because it's mostly an island map. It's a river estuary that's been eroded away. And here we've got the first of 3 bridges that's going to take us across to the island. All of them different, and all of them seemingly built at different times. This first one looks like the oldest one. It's a causeway that brings you up to the end. And then we've got an old stone bridge holding up. Oh, look at the causeway. You know, all the trees lining it. And then got the stone bridge there, and that holds you above the water because it's a bridge. And down here, back onto causeway again. And then as we come up here, we have got a Floral Tribute. This appears to be the crest of the island, St. Catherine's Wheel, the Catherine Wheel. You know, you've heard of the Catherine Wheel, haven't you? She was martyred on the wheel, or they attempted to, but she survived, or something. I don't remember my history that well. Next bridge is an industrial age bridge. It's iron. It's nice. I like that one. It's good and solid. Bit of rock detailing underneath as well. Works very nicely there. So that was a second bridge, a slightly later bridge. Network extensions, 2 roads, which means we get a nice drive-through tunnel, and then we come out on the other side. Let's have a look at the tunnels, just to make sure they are good. Come down to ground level. That looks fine to me. And then, oh, look at the textures. Oh, okay. And then over here we have the final bridge, the modern bridge. So as they got closer and closer to the island, it just got more and more modern as we go along, possibly replacing older bridges. Possibly. I'm making that up. Making it up. And now we're heading across the main island. Now, there's not too much to talk about down here. We've just got basically build plain on either side, left open for us to exploit. So you can see we've got hills at the top part of the island as well, including a quite rocky hill on the right-hand corner of the screen as you're looking at it. We're heading up towards our next intersection, which is I guess the start square intersection. It's the last one before the start square, so I guess we can call it that, although the main intersection we just looked at would be really the main intersection. This one splits the traffic two ways, and you can head off to the right. We'll have a look down there in a moment. Let's have a quick look under here. That's okay, isn't it? That's fine. And any clipping. Is this donut proof? I wonder. I can't prove it's not, so I'm going to assume that it is. And then if we head down here towards the end, this is your start square. And I've got to tell you, that to me looks very appealing. It looks flat, and it looks interesting, different ways to go as well. A harbour, a sea at front. It's completely flat actually, apart from this bit, obviously there's a hill there. But yeah, the main, the fertile land area in the middle, that is definitely flat land. No terrain lines at all there. And we'll just bear off left and see where this road takes us. Looks like down towards the harbour itself. And down here we've got another opening with a roundabout down here. No detailing on the roundabout at all. I'm imagining it's going to be demolished by many of you. And then down here we will come down to the lifting bridge. Haven't seen this for a long while. And that connects up the harbour island. And that is the end of our little trip on the roads. After the roads, we do the rail, and there is rail, although not that much of it. And for some reason, I've paused the simulation. Let's start it up. That's better. Yeah, not too much. It runs from the main river, where that big glitchy bridge is. And this follows the mainland all the way down towards that first intersection that we had by the two little quarries on the right hand side. So there's our unfinished intersection on the left there, quarries on the right, which seems like a good place, having the rail running past the quarries. Probably convenient to be able to get to those. And then it nips underneath the bridge, and we are at our destination. Fog that way and the depot on the left, which means it's all aboard to Assetville time. And what have we got in Assetville today? Well, I fancy doing a little bit of reckless driving today. Having watched Lewis Hamilton win that last Grand Prix, I am going to try and go as fast as I can on the roads today. We'll go past Asset Corner as fast as we can. You ready? Let's line this thing up and go! Yeah! Oh, what the hell? Did we just get flashed? Was that a speed camera? Now go a bit slower this time and just check this one out. Was that a speed camera? Down here on the... Oh my god. When did they install that? They could have warned me. Yeah, it's a prop speed trap by the Arca Portion. It's not a working speed camera, of course, it's just a prop. And yes, that flash was just post-production effects by me playing City Beggars with my video editing equipment. And now we're going to see how fast we can. If we can go fast enough, we might be able to go through the speed trap without actually triggering it. You ready? Go! Stop! Sorry about that. Themington Island, and we have one last look at the Central Australia theme by Pete Elmo with Al's Retro WW Experimental LUT, and it looks rather glorious. This is the one that Zosso was using in his map this week, Life, which we reviewed back on Monday. If you haven't seen it, definitely worth checking that one out. And we'll have a couple of factoids because, well, factoids, we know how you love them. In 1960, one London strip club included amongst its members 10 members of Parliament, 60 knights and 35 peers. Probably more than that these days. And the Duke of Edinburgh, that's the consort and husband of the Queen, was born on a dining table. And Winston Churchill was actually born in a lady's cloakroom. Oh, now that brings up images, doesn't it? So anyway, that's it from Themington Island. Let's go back to St Catherine's Point by Sue the NIM. And we've got a shipping route that runs across the top of the map here, goes past the top of that island there. Now normally one running across the edge of the fog I would moan about, but this route does actually make a lot of sense when you look at where the actual harbour points can be. Like down here, it goes into the fog again. The angle's okay there, I think, actually. And then this one, it will come round and will actually head into the harbour of that island, which we'll look at in a bit more detail in a minute. And if we come back out of there, we can go back the way we came, or we can go down to the harbour down in the corner of the map where we had the rail connection. So that's all good. Let's have a look at the water while we're here. Now don't forget, this is a map that can use the tides mod. We'll look at that a little bit later on, but for now, water flow out the main river here is good and strong, but it kind of tapers out pretty quickly. Okay, the important place is the start square. Let's have a look at the start square. We've got water flow coming past the start square, but where is it going? It's actually being pushed into the harbour and into the harbour. So be very careful when starting up here. Put some thought into it. You can avoid pollution quite easily just by putting everything in the right place. And then when you buy more tiles, you can then correct and make things a little bit better. Let's have a look at the map with the detailing, whatever. We got this island out here just outside of the 25 tiles, and this is deep water along this edge here. So we have the shipping route along the edge here. You can easily put docks along here without any difficulty. Even at low tide, you'll be able to access those docks. What we got over here, we got fields. This is fertile lands down here, and we've got a little make-believe road. I say make-believe. Oh, by the way, I'm loving the hedges work. Hedge work on this map is gorgeous. Yeah, this make-believe road is not really a road. It's not actually there. It's just your eyes are being tricked. And we've got a little path down here, which doesn't really exist. Your eyes also being tricked. Takes you down to this little jetty and this lake. It's a lake on an island, and in the lake, on the island, is an island. An island in a lake on an island. This is very nice detail work as well. It just feels really, really, well, squelchy, doesn't it? Put your rubber boots on. We're going for a paddle in the lake. Up the beach here, and we'll have a little look around the side of this hill, which has got a little bit of a raised mountain hill. It's a hill with trees on the top. But over here we have a little feature area, and it's a henge, and I'm loving the detail work on this. This is just gorgeous. There's an extra special bonus point on this as well, though, and that is that the henge faces east, so I'm told. So let's have a little check of that using Ultimate Eye Candy. Yep, indeed, the sun rises right there, and that is how a henge should be, aligned with the sunrise. Very nicely done. If you want to do some screenshots with that, that will work really well indeed. Okay, let's have a look what's next. Now, this map is also set for the Industries DLC. We've got a couple of quarries over here cut into the hills. Very lightly detailed, just big enough to be able to put down all of the buildings in the Industry DLC and a few more as well. Over here we have the island. The island is very nice. We've got a little dock area here, which we'll talk about in a moment. We've got a little sandy path going up from the jetty, and the sandy path takes you around and over the hill and down here to the essential. It's the essential lighthouse. Yes. I do like the essential lighthouse. It's very nice, and at low tide that harbour is completely inaccessible. You just put your boat up onto the sand. Let's have a look at the main island in a bit more detail. So we've got the hills at one end, and then the centre part of the island is flat and fertile, and then we drop down a little bit in terrain, you hit the wetlands, and these are beautifully detailed. A lot of reeds here. A lot of reeds here. A lot of foliage going on. Really, if you got park life, that is going to be a lot of fun to play with, I've got to say. And the water detailing is just gorgeous. We are using the theme mixer. I I forgot to mention that. Yeah, the theme mixer. All the information is in the details and in the description. And yes, the theme mixer, taking a whole bunch of themes and pushing them together to make the ideal, the ideal mix. That's why it's a mixer. we've got the castle, and the castle is up on the hill, and we've got some abandoned buildings. This round one looks like it could be the original lighthouse, I think, or a lookout post or something. And then we've got another gatehouse here. If we come up the hill, you get up this steep bit of hill here, and you've got this temple thing. This temple thing. Only problem here, of course, is we have got some garbage building up. The services can't get to that, so your option, if you are playing with all the details, is to play with mods to switch the garbage off, or basically get rid of the temple and just do your own thing. Just do your own thing. That's what it's all about. Multiple ways to play this map, clearly. Here we have a couple of harbours. Deepwater Harbour over on this side, where your ships can come in and out. There's room for a cargo dock there, and maybe a passenger dock right on there. It does fit. And then on the other side, we've got like a pleasure harbour as well. Down here, we've got the cliffs and sand, a little bit of sandy area as well. And you'll notice there's a rock on the beach. It hasn't been forgotten. Okay, this rock signifies high tide. And once you are happy that the high tide is in the right place, you can delete that rock. It does say so in that description. So yeah, that is there just as a marker to make sure that your tide level is correct before setting your tides mod in action. Over here we've got some quarries, big old flat quarries. Once again, plenty of room to put down all of the assets. And under the sea we've got all the oil under the sea there as well, so you can access all of that. Now this dead end intersection, I said we'd come back and have a look at. We've got the overgrown road here, which tapers down to the beach, and you can see how the road used to continue out this way too. What is all this out here? And the answer is yes, it's a sunken village being reclaimed by the tides. Look at this. This is gorgeous. Not seen this in a map ever before. Don't know if I'm going to see it ever again for that matter, although maybe everybody will be jumping on Sue's idea and having their own go. It's the Lucas Church by Armesto. Yeah, that's really nice, and it fits so well. So well. We will be having a look at that at low tide as well. In fact, shall we switch the tides on using the magic of camera trickery? We will just speed everything up with the tides mod on, and we're going to have a look at that village at like halfway tide. What do you think? I think so. Yes, you can see the tides just slowly reclaiming now, and the sandbanks becoming visible. Let's go and have a little bit of a look at this village with the houses and such. Just, yeah, still in the water, some of it. And now if we just let the tide speed up the tide, and it all becomes a dry area, which you can have a little walk around at low tide. I love exploring villages like this that you can't get to normally. So that's a low tide village revealed for all to see. And I think it's just a really, really glorious. Not seen anything like this before. Remember the Tides map way back when the Tides mod came out within the week? This is just on a different level altogether. I mean, look at that. With the tide out, all that revealed area. And it should be really good for land reclamation as well. Bear in mind that underneath all of this bay is oil. So you can really start reclaiming this area and doing something special with it. We've got a little bit of oil on the mainland as well. Not much. Enough to be able to place all of your main buildings before expanding out if that's what you want to do. And that is about it. So now we're getting to the point of the show that I'm going to ask you to place your votes. We will start off with the regular vote, where you get to mark the map between 1 and 5 stars. And is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your votes really do count because we use them towards the end of the month Viewers' Choice Top 10. Will this map be in the top 10 for December? Well, I'll leave that completely up to you. And then we'll hand it over to you again. Be prepared in a few moments when the sign comes up to pause the video and mark this map for aesthetics, for detail and for gameplay potential. And I will then give you my ideas for what I think. Right, okay, so pause the map. Pause it now. Pause it. Okay, if you haven't paused it, then you're losing the opportunity. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we will go for it. Right, so St. Catherine's Point by Sue the NIM. Well, I lied. It's my map. It's the one I've been working on since April, and I think you'll appreciate that I can't mark this map myself. It's not a fair thing to do, which is why I've asked you to do it for me. And I'll take your votes and take the average, and we will I will apply your scores to the map, depending on whatever you say as an average. Hopefully you've enjoyed the map. Hopefully you'll forgive me for lying to you for this episode, and thank you very much for keeping the secret. You don't want to be spoiling this for other people, because I think you know, if you know that it's my map in advance, then it'll affect your scoring, I think. So St. Catherine's Point by BonBonB. I'm BonBonB. You're very, very welcome to play on this map anytime you like. Right, so that's it. That's it for another year for me. Thanks for watching, for commenting, for liking and for subscribing. Join me on Monday for episode 500. And have I got a map for you? Oh yes. And those of you that speculated it'd be my map, you were wrong. There's an old map on the screen at the moment from last year if you want to go and vote on that, and of course another link on the screen if you fancy watching something else. And there'll be some St. Catherine Point specials coming up very, very soon. See you soon. Have a great weekend.